not just the answers, not just the quotes. It's life in the margins. It's time for CluffsNotes. So on Friday of week 7, a day I don't normally drive, I got a text from Tammy asking if I would be able to take her for a random drug test. So that told me a few things. One is that she is doing well and is still plodding along. And 2 is her phone is now working again. And she got in the car. She looked really nice. She joked that there was no blood and no obvious bruising. And I said, look at your clothes. It's not ripped at all. So we joked about how fancy she looked. And we also joked about how the cameras that caught that fall better not be used to get a prize on America's Funniest Videos. She wants a cut of that. We talked a lot about money and time. And we talked about like what we're supposed to be doing with those. Because those seem to be like the 2 things we're most judged about and we need the most. I said, I never want money to be a barrier. I said, I think if it ever came down where you couldn't pay, I would hope that you would ask me as a friend before you would cut me out as some sort of financial transaction. She goes, well, that's what you are anyway. You're a friend. And I like that. And somewhere along the ride, I remember we also were talking about rest because she said she was really trying that morning to just have some quiet time where she did nothing. She said she sat outside with nothing. She goes, no book, no phone, no music, just her and the breeze. And she talked about how uncomfortable that was. How she had to just force herself to sit there for a while and do nothing. And we were talking about how our brains are just always about do, or you have to earn, you have to move, you have to check something off. And somewhere in all of this, there's that old adage that comes from the Puritans, if man will not work, neither shall he eat. But it's this idea that you have to earn the right to be deserving of food. I mean, that's crazy. Like in retirement or recovery or in seasons of caregiving, that kind of script goes deep. That you got to be doing something. You don't just sit there. Don't be lazy. All those things where when you have time, you wonder, am I doing enough? And then we talked about careers and money and lies that we've been told about going backwards. Like maybe taking a different job, making less money or a different title erases your value or lessens it. When I moved from being an area superintendent to go back to being a principal prior to my retirement, I am certain that some people saw that as like a demotion. And I was trying to explain to her, like, I didn't. It was my choice. It was my agency to choose the people over position. I wanted my work to feel different to me. What kind of work brings you joy? What kind of work brings you energy? What kind of work makes you feel like you're doing something more than just contributing to the financial wealth of the organization? One of the other topics that we talked about is that if we want to raise kids that are secure, expressive, emotionally attuned, then we have to try to be that ourselves. They need models of what that looks like. So we ended our Friday drive with me telling her about some new learning I was doing with AI and some of my excitement, and just being reminded that in this journey, the water is always moving, but that doesn't mean that we can't find those places to rest and reflect so that we can really ponder those gaps between what we intend and the actual impact that we had. And it's in that space between is where we can learn. That's the place where we can grow and be better and heal. Another reel for the shelf.